hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Renuka and we make something with this page in the last video and now it's getting too much. So I'm gonna split it in again two ones. So this one is the second part and third part is also coming very soon. So in this video I will not just talk about the mushrooms and how to create and color them. I will go ahead with the different ideas of the mixed media pages and you can apply them in any of your crafting projects. So let's jump into the process. So now I have one of this paper and this one is like I messed up when I'm doing something. So I'm putting the inks here and spread some praise with the Hero Arts. And you can see and some of the distress inks here, but it doesn't come out very well. I can't use it at any other background. And what I can do, you can grab any sheets like any mushroom stamps. You can, particularly this one I bought it from India, but yeah, you can just grab any stamp and then just use Memento Black or Stays on ink, black nice crisp ink. You can use Wasserfine also, and then you can just stamp those mushrooms. And while stamping this, you can see where you want to stamp. Like if you want to capture this darker area, I can just stamp particularly this one here. It's totally depend how I want, and then with the help of the pen I can go again and do that. So you can grab any other stamp whichever you like this one, and you can stamp these. Now fun part of this is you are using your rough paper which you don't like it, you create it. And I have so many of them because sometimes we don't have control on those watercolors or the inks we do, and still I'm able to use them. I'm going to show you. So these are the few papers. Like here I started doing something and basically I don't like it, so I have this extra paper. I cut it out. Then this is the leftover of something. We can make some pink mushrooms also, and these are the colors. So most of the times I'm going to show you what I use is the Hero Arts colors as well as Distress inks, 10 mica, this one, or I use these Hero Arts color. And sprays, you can use the Tim Ho sprays. Distress oxides are also there, so you can use a stamp on these also. But I have this kind of stuff. I can create a book out of it. I can create a journaling page out of it. At the same time I can use this is also as a journaling, but this is so vibrant that I can use it for stamping. And then I can stamp these, and the next step is I can just fuzzy cut out them. So again I will show you how I do this. So I can use the small scissors and just go around it, and I can just fuzzy cut it. That's all. So basically you can see here, and you can check the vibrancy. If you want more vibrant, you can add more colors, and I will show you that also, how you can alter them. Like you can here see that's blue 10 mica spray. So I have ton of these papers because I love, as I showed you before, I love to creating these kind of papers, and most of the times my palette is kind of similar. I like the same shades. So but you can go ahead and mix and match the things whatever you like or whatever you have at that time. Most of the times I don't have everything, so like my sprays goes out of. And now you can see, now here or here we can just enhance them by using the black liner pens to them. That is the one way of doing. Okay, so you can just add a nice bright line. Here I'm using the Sharpie. You can use whatever you have. And because what happened, these are distressed mica strands, so whenever you try to put something on them, they will not come like image will not come that properly. Still I use the some of them and stays on. And Momento Black, you can use the VersaFine ink, black ink also, but still I think that you will have that problem of the vibrancy, and then you can, you know, just put them. So this is the another way of creating those mushrooms. And then the background we created is kind of dry, but it's got wrinkled, so I just put some of the books on it. So let's go and see this. Okay, so you can see this distress mica. So if I stamp mushroom on this, it will not get that kind of stuff, but if I stamp mushroom on this watercolor paper, that will be more, I will show you that that will be more vibrant in the way, cause this is the watercolor paper. And so why I'm showing all these techniques is I can draw, my drawing is good, but if I don't want to draw, still my drawing is good, or my drawing is not good, but still I don't want to draw, then what should I do? Then you can just grab these kind of stuff and put them. Now here you can see it doesn't stamp the way it should, but still it's okay. I can grab the another mushroom and I'll able to manage that. I can use the micron pens to fill those stuff. And then now here another tip is, if you want to stamp on this and you don't want to, you just want to cover that area, you can use any of your postage tape. I'm using here the repurposing tape, you can use that also, and you can just, you know, stamp there, so you will get the image, something like that. So here it is more better, I can draw better with my hands rather stamping on this. But here if I want to stamp, it will not stamp properly cause of that surface. Now you can see here we have already got the nice lines which we created. Now I'm just using the black Sharpie. So the thing is that what we use as a waterproof ink is not that vibrant. Like you can see, you can create a nice detail with it, but it is not that vibrant that which can catch the attention. So I'm using here the black Sharpie pen only on the border lines, not everywhere. And sometimes I miss something just deliberately so that it will give that cool effect. And then I'm just adding this. Now you can see, now as compared to this is kind of a pop-up. So these are the few tricks you have to remember. At the same time you can use your micron pens also. And so I have lots of these micron pens and these kind of stuff. You can use this kind of stuff if you're not using the water over them. And okay, so this is like 0.1, 0.5, 0.8. You can choose which thing you want and you can just draw on them. Now for the vibrancy here, I love to add some kind of shimmery paint also. And but I will just draw all of these first. Maybe I want something going on here. And we can draw this much. So you can see this is a really ugly mushroom if you think that way. But it will look good. It will look more natural when we will do all the stuff. And it's gonna put together all the stuff very nicely. So sometimes things didn't look good. Give it a time. I make it in a night, and then now after 2 days I'm again here doing this. So give it a time and see what you can do. By the way, how I create this album, if you want to see that, you can now look, this is the reference image. I'm not copying it exactly, but I got that kind of vibe with it, and still I thought that these are kind of giving me that floating kind of vibration. So we're gonna add something else. So let's add, so using different materials to check on your things. So this is the Nuvo color. I just put it in the water, and then I'm just gonna push little bit here and there. I'm using basically the green color. You can do vice versa also. You can just add little bit color here and there, and then you can put a little bit of water all around it. You can just grab a brush and then you can just mix the color. So this shadow effect will give that kind of ground. It will not look like it's floating on in the air. So that is giving the ground effect. So you don't have to use the same supplies I have, but you can try whatever you have on the different surfaces. Like here I just like Distress Mica Transstance, and then you can have some different crayons on it, right? So you can add little bit. It's not the shadow exactly, but kind of giving the depth to it. Now this is not a water soluble. You can use the water soluble one also. Another thing to add a pop to this is white highlighters. So you can add few highlights. Oh, this is not working. Let me grab the other one. So I have the Arteza. I use the jelly roll pens in white. I use the Sucra pens. All of them have the different kind of, sometimes on the surfaces they didn't go well, so just scrubble them, something like that. And maybe this is dry. Does this happen to you also? Like many times you want to create something and you are in a full mood and nothing is working for you. Okay, so I have this jelly roll pen. Which color is this? It's kind of a brownish color, golden silver gel kind of color. I'm adding little dots here and there with these, and this is gonna pop very nicely. This jelly roll pens pop very nicely, and definitely we will add white to them. So another way of adding a white is this bleed proof white, and this is the awesome white. Like people use gouache and other stuff for replacement of this, but I don't know why people don't use this. This is such a great way to add in the watercolors and everything. And this white is like kind of acrylic white, like, you know, very nice. And then I can add few details with this thin brush here. Okay, I can add few lines. So now that white gives me that pop, like, you know, the vibrancy in this. And I can go more wider shot also if you want to show the, can go ahead and make more strokes here. I can highlight little bit of underneath this mushroom where we add the golden color. You can make a bigger thing also here. I'm using a very 000 pen basically to add these, and then I can add few lines here. And now that color gonna resist, because white black proof is the water, bleed proof white is a watercolor. And then these are the wax crayons which give that kind of stuff. So this is the another way of adding white. You don't want to use that, you can use these kind of white jelly roll pens. That will also give a really nice vibrant thing. Now we can write a quote here if you want, and we can draw something just like we do this, or we can stamp, and we can try a different mediums on different kind of paper surfaces, or we can just go ahead and, you know, stick these kind of stuff. Like here I can have something in the background, I can have something in the foreground, and that will also create a different effect. If I use the foam tip behind them, they will give me different. Now here you can just add these. Let me see what else we can add. We can add this also, but before that we have to just make sure that drawing is quite a nice. It should not look that it didn't give the proper impression. So I will just go ahead with the pen all over it. I'm here using the Micron pen. By the way, you can color on these also the same way we did before. So sometimes you don't have idea, you can go on Google and just write mushroom images, and you can copy few of them, you can change few of them, and then you will get your effect. Now here I can add the big mushroom here, I can add the small mushroom here. It's totally depend how I want to go. Or sometimes I can add more foliage into it, like I have to fill this also. So you can see it's not that much difficult to draw the mushroom, but if you feel difficult, you can use the stamp. You want to speed up your process, or you are planning to make lots of out of them, you can do that. You can add few foliage to it. Sometimes I just put the page just like that, and whenever I go out, I use that as an opportunity to do something. You can use the color pencils on it or something like that, and that is another way of using your art journal book. So basically these give me the idea how I do it. I put it some of them here also, so these give me some kind of idea that what I want to do. And sometimes I put inside these pockets also, like this, if I feel that okay, which flower I should do, and I can like okay, I can add this one here, or I can take a reference and started the line drawing directly on it like this. So it is like very free flowing process, I can say. You don't have to be perfect every and each time to get some kind of nice thing going on. You can just loosen yourself. This is the practice of that, and that will improve your drawing, that will improve like your peace of mind, and that will give you many things. So sometimes you see the things and you try to draw them. Sometimes your mind is so blank that you can't directly draw, so you need those kind of references, and that's totally fine. You should have that references. Now here there is something in yellow which I didn't give much room to go, but here then I can just draw here and improve little bit, but that will not look good, so I'm gonna keep it just like that. I will not stressful about it that how it should look and what should I do now. I'm just giving this little lines here to feel that flower is a little bit 3D, and that's the thing we are doing. So sometimes you improvise your drawing, sometimes you just do this sketching kind of stuff, and that is the beauty. And then here I can add more lines. With this pen, Micron pens, if you don't want to use the ink pens and all that stuff. And I can add more colors to it, maybe with the watercolor pencils, maybe with the Stabilos, or maybe I can add just with the golden color. Like I have this golden pen. Some people don't like to carry much stuff outside, and that is totally fine, totally acceptable. You can add these also. And if you feel that, oh, it's very overpowering, I don't like it, you can go ahead with the black on them, and then it will give that little bit of subtle kind of effect. And I will show you, I think I did some of that, like this one I did most of the times. I went with my kid for the chess tournament, and then I just carry one book or 2 or 3 pens in my bag. Sometimes I carry more stuff. I have a special bag for that to carry the stuff, and then you can just, you know, do the stuff, and you can see what you have, and you can try those stuff with it. And I put all the stuff here. If you want, you can put your pens also here, like I can put my microns pens here or inside this pocket, just like that, and then I can just close it. Oops. And I can carry it like a purse or something, and it lays so flat, like that boxy effect it don't have. I created spine such a way, so you can see how I create these. So these pages are not yet completed. I'm gonna flip-flop that page in the next video and I will show you how I complete it. But these are the stuff you can add. I'm using just a ink pen, and I can use the Newton's inks, which is a waterproof ink. Whenever you're using a dip pen or the ink pen, you must make sure, if you are a mixed media artist, that you're going to use the water afterwards. You're going to spritz it sometimes, and sometimes that ink will kind of spread. So for creating the small lines, I always use this ink. I love to use. You can use the rotary or isometric ink, which is mostly used by architect. If you want, like, if you see my videos before, I use that pen also, but this is the very cheaper version of that. And you can just manipulate and, you know, draw the sketchy things. And the fun part is you can draw the sketchy things with this pen, and then afterwards you can add a watercolor or the gouache over them. And watercolor are mostly watercolor or watercolor inks, because these are more transparent, so you can see through those things, and it's working perfectly on those mica sprays also. So I suggest this, you should try this if you are going to the urban designing or sketching kind of stuff. This pen is kind of adding the wow factor. You can just add this pen with you and few colors, or you can just draw and sketch something outside, and then you can come home and, you know, add these paint details. Over these paint details you can add the colors. So this is the fun part I want to tell you. And you can see the third video of this series, where you can see the complete page and everything else. Some of the stuff I do outside when I go to classes with the kids or something else, and I have a waiting time, I carry my book and then I use it. I didn't carry all the supplies, but most of the times I carry my micron pens. You can use the micron pens instead of this pen also. And you can do the sketching. That brown pen is I'm talking about, that is the rotring pen, which mostly used for the architectural designs. And for these papers, you can do the same thing. You can stamp over them. What we created with the things, we can stamp over them. But I'm planning to do something else. I want to create some kind of scene, because this background comes so nicely. I have this die cut with the Hero Arts, so maybe the next video I can do this. So until the next project, have a crafty life. Bye bye, take care.